So if you've watched my previous 2 videos on rent-to-rent serviced accommodation and you're still watching, brilliant, appreciate that, then this video is for you. So if you don't know me, I'm Kenny Pittman. I started with Rent2Rent HMO coming up 6 years ago. I scaled that business. I went into serviced accommodation. Then I started Rise Up Rent2Rent to help people like you get on the rent-to-rent ladder as well. I've coached north of 300 students solely on the rent-to-rent model. I've helped dozens of people become financially free, many of which are making over 5, 10, 15, 20, all the way up to like 60K months. So hopefully that tells you a bit about why you should listen to me. But I'm not here to hype you up from that. I'm not here to motivate you. I'm here in this video to tell you exactly what I would do if I was to start a rent-to-serviced accommodation business from scratch. So what I see a lot of people doing is creating logos for your brand. You don't have a brand yet. Your brand is your identity, it's you. Don't go creating a Facebook page, the perfect website for absolutely nobody to go and visit. Nobody would go on it. Trust me, your mum might go on it. Don't go to town on logos. Don't go to town on Facebook pages. Your brand is you. So build you. Build your character, build your identity, read books. Like if you're going to spend a lot of time procrastinating in creating the perfect logo, because that's not the action you should be taking. It should be getting out there, getting uncomfortable, getting on phone calls, finding landlords, going on viewings, making offers, negotiating, getting to the contract stage, which can become quite uncomfortable, to then completing a deal, then upload that onto your website. Like boom, here's a result. This is why you should listen to me, because I've gone through the process. I've got this property, I took it on at this condition, and now I've left it in this condition. Then you can show the next landlord that. You can show the next estate agent that. Then start to work on your brand, because you're starting to build something. Don't work on your brand when you haven't built anything yet. You should be viewing properties, you should be stacking deals, you should be talking to landlords. You shouldn't be playing with all of that stuff and watching videos instead of making all of the decisions going forward. So the order has to be in place. So that's the first thing. Don't do all of the naffy things most people do. The next one is pretty boring. Choose one strategy. This matters. If you haven't read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, that book is like the game changer. He's like the granddad of the property market kind of industry. And the one thing that I majorly took from that book at the start of my journey was focus. Follow one course until successful. And I'm like, yeah, that really resonated with me, because on social media, you're seeing deal sourcing, BRR, lease options, like all of these incredible strategies. And before any of that, I just thought it was buy-to-lets. And then I discovered all of this, and everybody's doing everything. And it's overwhelming, right? Where do you start? Do you dabble in this strategy for 2-3 weeks and then go over to here because it's not working? Like that was where my mind was at. And then when I read that line, I was just like, yeah, I need one strategy to go all in on. Tunnel vision, no distractions. So that's first thing, lock in your strategy. I would highly recommend Rent2Rent. It's a game changer. People think it's like the starter strategy. I actually deem it the start and the finish. In terms of the cash flow to the investment, it doesn't get much better than Rent2Rent. Your next one is location. Everyone's so fussy on this. I live in Dorset. I live literally in the middle of nowhere. The nearest city is an hour and a half away. So when I speak to people and they say, oh, I live in this location, will it work? I'm like, no, you make it work. My first deals were 3 hours away from my home, 3 hours away, but they were going to profit 2,400. So yes, I took on all 3 deals. That was my very first deal. 3 HMOs, all accepted in the same evening by the same agent across multiple landlords, but it was going to profit 2,400 a month. And I thought, I don't care if it's 3 hours away. I'm gonna set them up, I'm gonna systemize it. £2,400 a month. That pretty much replaces my income. My income was 2,700 a month take home. I put in 83 days of work and I pretty much replaced my income. Who cares if I have to drive 3 hours? So the location was irrelevant to me. But what I did have was a radius. I had a 3-hour radius. So this was my strategy, and I still recommend this to this day. My students follow this strategy as well. Is within the first week, follow the 1-hour radius from your home. The second week, a 2-hour radius. Third week, 3 hour, and then back to the first hour radius. So then every 3 weeks, you're following up with the same agents. That's not too distant for them to forget about you, but not too close for you to become a pest. So how I choose my locations within those hour weeks is just choose a city and go 10 miles, right? Or choose a major town, go 10 miles. You want broad, don't keep it in an immediate area and look for the perfect property. Don't do that. Just call the agent and find out if it's suitable for company let. The script that I created 6 years ago still works today. It's a very direct script. It's just looking at this property on Rightmove, just wondering, would the landlord be open to a company let on this one? Yes or no? Boom, get the viewing. If they say no, okay, cool. No worries at all. Whilst got you on the phone, have you worked with company lets before? No. Okay, is it something that you don't understand, or is it in your policy that you do not work with company lets? Yeah, it's in our policy. Okay, no worries. I know now I don't need to disturb you again, so have a lovely day. Boom, next phone call. It's called Go for No. I said this on the masterclass on the Zoom last night. If you got a calendar and you just ripped one of the pages out, you got 30 days, 31 days. Let's say it's February. Cross out February and put a first deal countdown. And your first deal is on the last day. And every day that is an offer submitted to a landlord, right? You're going to try and get to day 31 as fast as possible. If you know that that property is going to profit you £1,000 a month, would you not try and make 30 offers as fast as possible? I guarantee you, if you follow the process correctly and you structure the deals correctly, you will have your first deal. I wish everybody would have that psychology when they first join. It's like, yeah, cool. I know it's X amount of offers down the line. There's my first deal. Because it is process. We can't guarantee what the landlord is going to say. We can't guarantee what the estate agent is going to say. Can't guarantee what a council or a provider is going to say. But that's the best thing. If it was solely just process and it worked amazingly, this strategy would not exist because everybody would be doing it. People would just be like, okay, cool, I'm doing rent to rent. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I found a property on Rightmove. Okay, yeah, the landlord accepts your offer. Okay, yeah, cool, I've got my first deal. Or call a council. Yeah, you will work with me. Amazing. Okay, yeah, now I found a property on Gumtree. Okay, yeah, I work with the council. Would you accept this offer? Amazing. Yeah, done. If it was that easy, it would not exist. The fact you need to learn sales, negotiation, manage to get your margin in between, show value. Why does a landlord want to go with you? You're the salesman for the provider. You're the salesman for your Airbnb business. You've got to learn all of this. You're creating value, which takes discipline, consistency, and an open mind to learn. That's why you become valuable. You're paid for the value you deliver to the marketplace. So you need to become valuable. So if you make 30 offers to the marketplace, you're going to become valuable by offer 31 because of the amount of experience you've gained. But everybody just strives for perfection, get all of their ducks in a row to then just implement that plan. It does not work like that. Success is not linear. It's not start, success, straight line. It's a very emotional roller coaster. The process, it might throw you off. You might get a deal that is not the strategy you're focusing on, but it's an opportunity. Then you might be like, actually, I love this opportunity, and you might even go down that road. I never intended on, never wanted to do rent to Airbnb, and that's all I do now because I absolutely love it. Never intended on doing deal sourcing. I've sold deals. Never ever intended to start a YouTube channel and start coaching or start a training program and have a team. Never intended on doing that. Just wanted a HMO portfolio, passive income, time, freedom, leave me alone. But your plan changes. If my plan was to get all my ducks in a row and just trying to implement that, I would have never started. Anyway, went pretty much off of topic there, but one area, one location, one strategy, one plan, set your radius and then go for it. The next one is you need to learn how to stack deals, right? How do you actually structure a deal? Knowing your numbers. You have to learn numbers. So go to my website, download the calculators, then you can stack deals. Because without a calculator, numbers, if you don't know numbers and you don't know exactly everything structured properly, then every deal is going to feel risky going forward, isn't it? So go to my website, download the calculators, because at the moment they're free. That might change. Right, so just make sure you get in there quickly. If you go to my website and they're still free, then they're obviously still free. If it says £47, then sorry, you've missed the boat. Get the calculator. If you don't know your numbers, every deal feels risky. And when everything feels risky, you do nothing. So the next step is having conversations with estate agent and landlords. Everyone over prepares. I did at the start. When I was going into a meeting with a landlord directly, it was the first ever landlord, I over prepared. I was having, kind of conversations with myself on what they might say for hours. What if they say this? I had them written down and I was trying to just learn in my head. And I was in the car park, just going through everything and kind of preparing myself. And I'm like, don't. Because the moment that landlord's in front of you, your mind goes absolutely blank, right? My best advice would be just to be yourself. Be sold on your business model. Don't prepare for what they might ask you. If you're prepared and sold on your business model and what you can deliver to a landlord, every answer to their question should come quite naturally. So don't over prepare, just become sold on what you're doing and how it's going to solve a problem for them. Because ultimately, if it's not a win-win situation, you can't structure the deal. It is never going to become a deal because it won't be a win situation for them. It will only be a win situation for them if your business model can solve their problem. That's it. So get sold on your business model, then you can solve their problem. And if it fails, if you flop, if you get it wrong, then you learn. Then you go into the next landlord conversation better off, right? Just be prepared to fail. No one has ever got to success instantly with 0 failures. Nobody. Thomas Edison, like 11,000 failures on the light bulb. The Colonel, KFC man, don't know his actual name, probably should. 65, many investor meetings. Jeff Bezos, many investor meetings when people did, I think it was 60 people in the room and 3 people invested, now multi-billionaires. But just shows you, like, no one becomes successful easily. Just be prepared to look silly for a few months, because that's where you get the confidence from, is correcting and learning, and then you'll start to steer the ship a bit more stable, and then you'll get the result. So where a lot of people hesitate is when things start to happen, right? So all I do and what my students do is focus on one strategy. Again, I'm coming back to this. One strategy, one type of property, and then go all in on that. So when the deal does start to unfold, you know how to analyze it, you know how to move fast, you know what feedback to give me, to give you the feedback on you to move fast to get the deal done. Then you become really sold on your business model, and then you can start working on your brand. So get one property in front of you, get it properly analyzed, get proper support from mentors. You're not dabbling in this business model, you're fully committed, you're going all in, you're jumping in the deep end, not just dipping your toe. Because if you give mediocre efforts, you're going to get mediocre results. So I really hope this helps, because that is the order to succeeding in Rent2Rent. That is probably the order to succeeding in all of the property strategies, is just get clarity on the process and then learn the business model, be sold on the business model. Focus, guys. That's it. Follow one course until successful. Yeah, that's the order. Now you have one.